Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil, and it is time for another episode of Would I Lie to You? As soon as I started reacting to Would I Lie to You, Wilty as it's known by its fans, everyone says you have to check out the episode start with Bob Mortimer. I don't know who Bob Mortimer is. I've never heard of the man. I wouldn't be able to tell him from a hole in the ground. But everybody says the Bob Mortimer episodes are the best ones, period. When there's that much of a consensus, I'm willing to listen to the crowd. And so I've decided, instead of continuing working my way through Series 14, the most recent series, I am going to... Sorry, sirens. Sorry, just one of those kind of nights. Yeah, so instead of continuing on through Series 14, I'm going to hunt down all the Bob Mortimer episodes, and it's also been recommended to me that I watch them chronologically because future lies are based on past lies or something. I don't know. Anyway, I went onto Wikipedia. I tracked down what I think are every episode of that Bob Mortimer appears on. Looks like he started being a guest during Series 6, so I think this is his Wilty debut that we're about to watch. This is Episode 6 of Series 6 of Would I Lie to You?
A man named Richard who's an adjudicator on a BBC One quiz show. So when I call him Clever Dick, I'm being factual, not rude. From Pointless, Richard Osman. A comedian and actor whose distinctive looks can only be described as when Goliath ate Rick Mayall. It's Greg Davis!
Well, I know these two guys.
A comedian who once told me he was as sane and normal as the next man. Although at the time, he was standing next to Vic Reeves. It's Bob Mortimer!
All right, so this is the man everyone's talking about.
In Holby City, she murdered people, had affairs with doctors, got pregnant, and was attacked by patients. It really was quite an episode. It's Patsy Kensit!
I feel like I recognize her name.
Panelists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before.
They've never seen it before.
What they'll be faced with.
That's awesome.
At school, I invented a game called Snorkel Parker Music Practice Room.
What's the game called again?
What is a snorkel, Parker? For some...
It's a large hooded coat with a fur-lined... And you can zip it up so that it comes right up and so that only your eyes are visible. Well, then you and I, Lee, will go to the music practice room when...
I'm not falling for this again.
When someone's practicing their violin with a violin teacher in the music practice room, you duck down below the window and then you just come up with your Snorkel Parker on.
It sounds like an inane kind of high school game.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I totally believe it.
That's it, really. But just out of interest, by show of hands, who would like to play Snorkel Parker Music Practice Room?
I'm quite keen on the game.
I've already played it. I didn't really enjoy it.
Bob, which way are you leaning with this?
Well, it's got the anticipation, it's got the jeopardy, it's got the lot.
What a game! If this gets picked up, this is just because I've talked about it now, it's mine, right?
It's only yours if you really played it.
I'd like to maintain the rights to Balaclava Sports Hall.
Greg, were you telling the truth? Or were you telling
Well, right, because that would make me utterly pathetic, wouldn't it? Yes, I was telling the truth.
Yeah, I bought it.
I once buried a badger with the banker from Deal or No Deal.
What?
Who is the banker? We never hear the banker, do we?
No, I'm not allowed to tell. If I told you, I would have to bury you alongside the badger, I'm afraid.
Oh, so the badger found out. Is that what happened?
What's burying the badger a euphemism for?
Way back when, I used to be the producer of Deal or No Deal.
Right, and
Really?
what's his name?
He is called the banker.
No, what's his real name?
I can't tell you what his real name is.
It's on the credits of the show.
How is the badger dead?
Yeah.
We hit it with a car, unfortunately.
What were you doing in the car with him?
About 70.
Why was so much trouble to dig the grave?
Because the banker's wife was with us.
Oh, can you tell us her name, or does she work for, the Iranian government?
I'd had a few, yeah.
So you went and got
Was you driving then?
No, I wasn't
I was driving, I was mullet.
badger, I mean none.
It was dark. Whatever we hit was black and white.
So you checked the gender of the badger then? You know it was a male badger? Or a female badger in a same-sex relationship who've adopted?
I think you're wildly overestimating the sophistication of the badger community.
Lee, what's it going to be? Truth or lie?
Oh, I think it's true.
I think it's totally true.
I don't believe the badger bit. I think the badger bit.
That's quite essential to the story.
Would you buy it more if it was a nun?
I was telling the truth.
When I was younger, I was regularly paid to babysit Marvin, my neighbour's pet dog, who had died and been stuffed. Well, they were elderly people. They'd leave out, like, food and water.
What sort of dog had Marvin been before?
Yorkshire Terrier.
Right.
And we had a Yorkshire Terrier called Pepper, who was alive, I'd like to say.
That was rubbing their nose in it, wasn't it?
Stuffed peppers.
But our dog...
You're convinced?
Well, I think it's impressively told if it's a lie.
I think impressively told. A
You
lot
know,
of the
that's
detail...
question. You're not an actress, are you, Patsy?
My instinct is it's the truth. We're going to say
I think it's a
true.
lie. It's a lie.
Okay.
It's a
Patsy
lie.
kens it.
That story was a lie.
Yeah. Old people might be sentimental, but they're also cheap. And now we finally get...
This is
Oh, we don't
my-
even get a Bob Mortimer in that round. Oh,
Please welcome this week's special guest, Pauline.
Pauline. What does Pauline do?
This is Pauline. Last year we met at a Snoop Dogg gig and we bonded because we were the two oldest fans in the room.
I don't buy that.
This is Pauline. When I was a cub, she was the Arcala, and she had to take me out of the scout hut once for asking too many questions when we were being given a talk by the police.
Could be.
This is Pauline. She's my mum. She once drove past me when I was having my first fight and got out of her car to cheer me on.
I feel like we have seen photos of Greg's mom on Taskmaster, and this could be her. I think this is
in the
Greg's
street?
mom.
In the street.
Yeah.
Who were you
Although I feel
fighting?
like I'm cheating by
I
saying
honestly
that.
can't remember.
What was your friend called?
Well, I'm from Shropshire, so he was called Chinese Dave.
Oh no!
He certainly wasn't Chinese. I think it's because he used to wear a hat.
What was your fighting technique?
It was a sort of windmill of bones, just like this. The fight came to a fairly abrupt end because I was chewing polos during the fight. I got caught in their mouth and literally I spat polos everywhere. And my mum went, oh no, it's teeth, it's teeth. True though, it's definitely true, and that is my mum.
I was asking about various, issues involved in fighting crime.
How old were you?
I think I was about 8. I asked a lot about the locks in Cagney and Lacey, and I said, why don't we have locks like that? And how can we keep burglars out if we don't have locks like that?
Right.
And the policeman was saying how you can't keep out a determined burglar. And I was saying, well, why do we lock the doors at all then?
Pauline and I met at a Snoop Dogg gig.
Oh, where was he playing?
It was at the Forum in Kentish Town.
When was this? What year?
Last year. Well, we met when there was a delay, as there often is at rap concerts. There's sort of an hour delay, so I
For
went up to the little
why
bar.
was there a delay? 'Cause...
Well, because it's Snoop. You don't rush Snoop.
Who supported him? Did he have a support act?
Yeah, Corrupt.
What was his hair like, Snoop's?
Snoop's.
How was he wearing his
Cornrows,
hair?
right? Always.
He was wearing his hair, he had sort of cornrows, essentially.
He knows all the words, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's definitely read up on this.
Yeah.
No, in this delay, I went up to, there's a little quieter bar upstairs, and I went up there to play a bit of Scrabble on my phone.
Yeah.
Pauline was reading a book. So anyway, I'm playing my thing. She said, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm playing Scrabble on my phone. She said, I didn't know you could play Scrabble on a phone. Right. So I showed her, and then we started playing Scrabble on a phone, have done ever since. And then...
Ever since? Well, you're going out with each other now.
You know what, Lee? Early days.
Have you actually met up with Maureen since?
Pauline.
Nice try, Bob. Nice try. I could buy all of them, but I'm leaning towards Greg.
Do you mind standing up, Greg, again? Would you stand next to this lady who claimed to be your mother?
Next to my mum.
Well, let's call her a woman for now. Right. Now, for this mean average to work out, your dad is the Jolly Green Giant.
I think it's Richard.
You think it's Richard? You think it's Richard or Greg?
Yeah.
Don't Team say Richard.
What do you
I think
say?
it's Greg.
We're going for David. He's trying to double bluff me at the end, so I'm going to go with
saying
David.
it's David.
And if it is David, I'll be so happy now.
My name is Pauline. I am Greg's mother. And
Yeah, I feel like I cheated on that one because I feel like I've seen her on Taskmaster. I feel like one of the contestants brought in a photo of her.
I can break an apple in half with my bare hands.
That's doable.
What is your technique?
I take it in the hands. Friction's very much part of this this equation. You must pull it, I'm going to say east to west. A lot of people think you need to twist. You don't need to twist. If you twist, you fail. Twisting equals tears.
The way you were miming it then, there's like downward pressure from the thumbs, almost as if you're trying to open it like a book.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like? Because I can believe that more than the just grip, bang!
But I so wish it was bang. It's not.
No, you're inserting the thumbs.
No insertion.
All right.
No,
But
that's
downward
the grip.
pressure.
Downward pressure, and there it is. The thumbs are used for gripping, not for ripping. That's what I was told. If you can remember that, you too will be parting apples. I used to take hard-boiled eggs, peel them, I can still do it, and I could take the shell off in one. You know, take your time, off it goes bang.
And when did you...
That's the correct way to present. With an apple, it's this.
When did you first discover that you could do the apple?
I can't remember the first time I did it. I can remember the feeling.
What was the feeling?
The feeling was magnificent.
Is that the truth?
I don't think so, but it could be. Can we leave it at that?
No, I don't think we can.
I hope it's true because then they'll make him do it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see it.
I think it's a lie.
If it's not true,
Make
will
him
they
do
make
it
him
anyway.
try?
You can't pull an apple apart, can you?
You can't
You
just
can't.
rip it in half. I so want you to be able to.
You're going to put it off.
Tremendously, frighteningly strong hands, as I found out to my own cost.
Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Oh, I want to see this. I want to see this. I overthought it.
Guess what I've got? My trusty box of apples.
Oh, I was going to say a box of Badgers.
I really hope he can't do it.
Bravo, bravo.
I can reveal that Lee's team have won by 4 points to 1.
Well,
And my individual liar of the week this week is Richard Osman.
oh, they have. That's the first time that's been announced. That was a really fun taste of Bob Mortimer, but I don't feel like I got the full dose just yet. He only got to tell the one story. In the opening round, the other 3 guests got got to tell the story, and they skipped on Bob, so I feel a little deprived. But I can see he's going to be tough to figure out. I believed him, but I felt like he had been hyped up so much that he's just a really good liar, and therefore I shouldn't believe whatever he says, even if it does ring true. That'll teach me. I think the more I get exposed to certain contestants, the better I'll be able to read their tells, so to speak, and learn what their tendencies are. But a lot of fun, really, really entertaining episode. It was one of these episodes where I believed almost everything, so it's really tough to discern. All 3 stories ring at least quasi-true, then how do you figure out which one is real? I got a funny feeling that Richard Osman has been to a Snoop Dogg concert at some point in his life, so who frickin' knows? I mean, I could have seen that happening, although it would have been surprising. But Cub Scouts with David, totally bought it. But it seemed generic enough that I could skip on it. And I do feel like I'd seen a photo of Greg's mom in one series of Taskmaster. I forget which one. but it rings a bell. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We'll do this again whenever I have an opportunity. Hopefully it'll be soon. Until then, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.